Hi, I'm Lana.
And I'm Sherri.
And this is Real Estate Tips with SNL. So, Sherri, what are we going to talk about today?
So today we're talking to the sellers. We have listing tips. I know it's pretty common when somebody's made the decision to list their house. Sometimes we hear from them well in advance, and other times they're a week away from being ready. But they'll ask us to go through and take a look and help them make decisions. And I think we can sort of break that down a little bit for them today.
Yeah, let's pretend we're walking through the house.
Okay.
So normally I come in and they always say, "Can you give me your gut-wrenching advice? Like, don't hold anything back."
No filters. Put it out there.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that I have definitely talked to them about is cleaning their windows and their sliding doors, because when I enter in the kitchen or the buyers come and look, the first thing they're going to go is the sink, right? They look at the sink, and then there's the window there that you're looking out. And if it's all covered with spots or whatnot, it's going to make a big difference. You want to be looking outside as if you're in your kitchen. The other thing is pets, right? So they go up to the slider and they get their nose or their paws all over it. We just want to keep that nice and shiny and clean.
Right.
That makes a big difference. And then, certain times of the year, but I got to say, when in between the windows, so if you lift them up, it's all that dirt in there. I'm telling you, people look at this.
They do notice things.
They do, because when you have it, picked up, cleaned and whatnot, it means that you took care of your house, right?
Yeah.
So I just say, just take a, vacuum it through it, wipe it down. But I'm saying anything and you're looking out, if you're looking out the window and if it's messy, just clean it up. The dog prints, the kids prints, the stuff that's all over.
But you're going straight for the little nitty gritty stuff.
No,
I'm going to share
that.
this. I'm going to share this with you. And if my former client is listening, I hope you get a laugh over this. But I loved this one. So I think this was actually might have been my first listing.
Okay.
And big family, and with that big family comes a lot of laundry. Right?
Okay.
So you're getting your house ready. You got kids. I mean, and it showed beautifully. It really did. But it was laundry day, and they didn't have anywhere to put all this stuff. So they went into the bathroom and they threw all their laundry into the bathtub and then closed the shower curtain.
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
And it was in there. And honestly, I think it might have been an open house, and it was through the open house, and I'm standing there, and these buyers open it up, the shower curtain, and busted out laughing because, we're still people,
right.
We get it. We're still people. No one's expecting you to be absolutely perfect. No. But they will look in your shower. So, you want to, prior to putting it on the market, you need to declutter.
Yeah.
You need to just start downsizing. We all accumulate things, and it's time to start purging and getting rid of, think in your mind, if there's something you do not plan to take with you in the next home, then it's time to get rid of it. And you could almost start with, you might have those three piles. You're going to have the I'm keeping it pile, I am donating pile, I am throwing it away pile. My donation pile, which because I have a hard time parting with things, gets pretty big. And then it's time for me to actually donate it, and it ends up in the trash anyway.
It hasn't quite made it to the donation.
I know. I had good intent. It just didn't come together. But decluttering is so important. And then hopefully, you've got that space when you're needing to do that last minute,
right.
hiding of things before an open house or a showing.
Yeah. And one of the things I kind of say is every time I walk into each individual room, I always say half of the stuff could be gone.
Yes.
So that's including furniture.
Furniture, absolutely.
So look at the furniture. Do you have an extra end table or an extra coffee table or an extra chair that you threw in because you had company over and it just stayed there? It really makes a difference to open up. It's not so much definitely for pictures. Right. But when people are walking through, remember, this is the first time they're seeing it. So half of the things in the house, I say, what in each room that you can get rid of or take away, depersonalize, right? You got the photos on the wall. I call it the wall of shame, right? Because, you see the kids when they were born till they had the braces, they have everything. So depersonalize, right?
Right.
So start taking those down, but doesn't mean you have to take every single one down.
No.
And I get, it's a challenge because you're in between, like you're not sure what we're packing and when can you pack. But taking consideration of the furniture in each of the rooms, sometimes just moving the furniture into another room that doesn't have as much is helpful.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's giving the room a purpose.
Yes.
Sometimes you have a bonus room that doesn't really serve, it's not a bedroom, it's not a living room. What is this bonus room? And you might be creating a home gym. You might even just say, you know what, I've had this stuff, in my closet because I haven't used it in forever. Yeah. And I might pull it out and start using that space so that people understand what its use is. I think right now the biggest challenge that I have is, and this would be, the post-pandemic thing, is that a lot of people are working from home and they were creating home offices and spaces that weren't really home offices.
Yes.
So suddenly you've got a desk and a computer that is in your dining room, or maybe, maybe the kids have moved out and you've taken over those bedrooms as separate, but you want to help a buyer visualize that this room has meaning. This is the dining room. This is a bedroom. So you might have to do some moving of furniture and, giving identity to those spaces.
Yeah. How about the smells, the odors in the house? Now this is a wide range.
I know.
This is not just the cooking. It's, the sports that people play. Yeah. And pets. Yeah. Smoking. There's a lot of odors that go on in the house.
Yeah. I had, I'm just going to keep sharing my own experiences. I had this one listing that had a shed in the backyard with the electric line, and the door was locked, and there was a heater on in there. And,
oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
so.
No.
And I was told that I was not told what was in the shed, but I was told that would remain locked. And it was not to be shown for the showings, but it was pretty clear based on the smell what was growing inside that shed. So, and to each his own. Sometimes we have those too, and but there are different smells, and sometimes I've gone into a house where, and I can be guilty of this myself. I love those little room plug-ins and the deodorizers, and you might have 15 of them going in your house, and
all different smells.
And it's a little bit overpowering, and like I said, it's something that I myself am guilty of. I enjoy them. I am, especially in the bathrooms. I like to have them there. But you might want to maybe minimalize. Maybe just one. Just one.
Yeah.
And some people are very nose sensitive. So I think smoking is a really tough smell, though, because it can get into your furniture. It can get into your carpeting. Yeah. I think if you can, as part of, once you're done with the decluttering and you're doing the deep cleaning, get a carpet shampooer and or hire a company that can come in and just help remove some of those odors. Fresh paint. Yeah,
fresh paint does
best
wonders.
Return on your investment. Yeah. But that's we've talked about this before. That's also a smell. Yeah. And to me, it's a smell that I like. I walk in and it smells new and it's fresh. Yes, it smells fresh.
So I think for interior, we talked about declutter, check on the smells, the odors that are around, clean the windows and the doorways because those are what they're entering and they're looking out of. I think it's really, really important. And then, did we hit anything? Oh, furniture. So, really think about designating the rooms what they are and creating that space. So now let's go outside.
Well, before we go outside, I'm going to my pet peeve. Okay.
Oh, yes, we have to hit this.
My pet peeve. Okay. Those toilet lids need to be down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there is nothing more disgusting than looking at the inside of a toilet. Do you remember how's that go? If it's yellow, let it mellow. Or if it's brown, flush it down. I only say that because, again, I had a listing, and that was something that those people believed in, and the lid would be up. And I usually, it was only the yellow, but still, I don't want to see even that. I don't. No. Okay. No. All right. This might be a blooper. I don't know, but it is nasty. It is nasty. I've even seen like on HGTV, they could be showing like this multi-million-dollar mansion, and the camera zooms by and the lid is up, and I'm like, no,
don't show me.
No. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to live that way.
No.
But when your house is for sale and you're going to have a showing, and then sometimes buyers come in and they use your bathroom and they leave that thing up. Mm-hmm. I'm right there. That's behind your pet peeve. I am shutting that thing. I'm like, nope. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
I have to agree. And one other pet peeve, just one other, while you're on the topic of the toilet, is also the pet toilet. Okay, so like if you have, what are they even called?
Like a litter box?
Litter box.
Oh, for the cat. Okay.
Well, it could be the dog. Sometimes the little ones have.
Oh, they have like a little pee pad.
Yeah. No. All that.
We don't enjoy the smell of feces and urine.
Fresh. Those are under my odor content. It's under my odor content. So I gotta tell you, if the toilet seat's going down, so is the litter box. The litter box has got to go.
We're gonna need serenity.
So I think it's a great idea just to remove the litter boxes, anything to do with the pets, and let's just keep it clean and moving on.
Right.
So now outside.
So obviously, depending on the season, but I think that oftentimes people forget that our pets are outside too.
Yes,
and we do want to make sure that we're cleaning up any potential landmines.
Yep.
The last thing you want is a buyer going through your backyard and then walking back into your house. So think of it that way.
Exactly. But then also. Not just cutting the grass, having a fresh cut, because that's always great. But, does it need mulching? Does it need weeding? Does it need like a quick trim of the bushes in the front? Curb appeal is huge, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So people are going to drive by. They're going to see the sign. They're going to see it. So get that front lawn, smashing. And let's, make sure we're having it draw attention. And then when you're in the backyard, if you have a fire pit or something, and clean that up around there, make it presentable. And talking about seasonal, if it's winter, it's still important, because guess what? You got to shovel a walkway.
Right.
If nothing worse than them not being able to get outside, at least to even go to the backyard to look. Like, what does this look like? How big is it? If you don't have it shoveled,
I am the first person who's going to trip and fall. I am going to slip and fall.
Exactly.
If you have left a hazard, I am going to find it. That's just how it is.
Right.
So, just if you can imagine that your great grandmother, and I'm not suggesting that's me, but if your great grandmother is coming and you want to make sure she can safely get in and out of the home, then take care of your house that way.
Right.
Your front door. If your door is painted, give it a fresh coat of paint. It's going to make it look new again. It's okay to put a wreath or something, but be careful of picking too many seasonal or specific decorations. So, those sort of, I was just thinking of like Christmas and Halloween, where those are very specific to a certain time of year.
Yeah.
Now, I might have a client who is planning to list their house in a year. And they've asked me to come through and take a look. And they don't know when the following year that they're going to list it. So something that I may recommend is, why not take those photos this year? when we've got the perfect season. You know, I think it's natural for us to sort of, gravitate to listing it when, our flowers are in full bloom and your grass is the greenest and all that. But it may not work with your timeline. But if you have advanced knowledge that you're going to be listing, contact us. We can get things started. We could bring in the professional photographer. We could have everything ready to go. Imagine how cool your house looks if come January you are listing and everybody else's house on the market is dumped with dirty snow. And yours looks, stunning and showing it in its best light. But that being said, if you are the house that's dumped with dirty snow, chances are everybody else that's listed is dumped with dirty snow. So, we try to show off the parts of your home that are the most attractive to bring buyers in.
I also know that we both, when we go to your house to look at it, we'll have a checklist. So you don't have to remember all of this, right? We have checklists and stuff and whatnot. And our photographer gives us some pointers as well. But you got the idea. Declutter, clean up, look outside your windows, check what's in each room, think about the smells, bring a friend in and say, what does my house smell like? Just get the house ready. And if there's a room that has some crayon colors, like really bright colors, maybe tone them down is going to be beneficial. So having us come in initially can really help you out a lot just to get yourself organized. And we certainly have people and resources that can help as well to get rid of things that you don't want, or help paint, or fix a couple of...
We have home stagers. That might be helpful too. I feel like I have also walked into houses where I've said, you don't have to do a thing. It's just, it shows perfectly. Or it's like one or two minor little things. But to me, honestly, the most important thing is declutter and clean by far. You just don't want somebody coming in and don't feel like, by the way, as I say this, don't feel like that you can't, call us while the house isn't in pristine condition. We can come in there and help you identify. Maybe you're not seeing everything that we might catch up on and have that opportunity to share with you. So don't feel bad about that. Don't clean for my appointment. Well, maybe just a little. Maybe just a little. But no, we want to help you, absolutely. Now, what about after everything is said and done? You've got the clean house, you've made a few changes, we bring in a professional photographer. We want to, depending on the time of year, we may end up taking some drone images, and really the location. I guess it really just depends. Maybe it's a house we're bringing in someone to do a floor plan. There's a lot of things we could do. And every home, it depends on what the needs are and what that type of property calls for. But we have the marketing tools and to help you get that so that it's ready to be listed. But so we've listed it. And your house is out there in the MLS, and buyers are seeing it, and they are scheduling showings. So what are you doing next? You got a showing.
I got a showing.
You got a showing. So what are you going to do to prepare for the showing?
So I'm going to tell my sellers to do is I'm going to have them make sure everything is in place, make sure they put away any valuables, anything they're, mail. I always tell them, put your mail away.
Prescription drugs.
Prescription drugs, definitely. And if there's a garage door opener or a key for a shed or something that needs to be out, label it and leave it out on the counter. I will always have some brochures and whatnot, my marketing pieces and stuff, but specifically just make sure you put away anything of value, prescription, and, pick up everything. I've actually, if there's a showing and someone's not there, I've actually gone in advance and put away some stuff and threw some laundry, in the washing machine but I'm there to also help. So that's what we do. We just try to get that, because it's the first impression, your first impression of the house.
You have one opportunity to make a first impression. I also try to encourage people to turn on all the lights in their house. Light it up. You just don't want a buyer that is walking into a dark room and trying to struggle to find where the light is, especially if it's not one that's on a light switch and you need a lamp on. It may be driving you crazy that you might have left for work and then you're coming back at the end of the day and all your lights are on. But it really is a helpful piece for getting your home sold and showing it in its best light.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And what else do we? Oh, fluffing those pillows. I give beat those babies. Give them a good beating and get them all fluffed up. Do those last minute things. Sometimes it's putting a fresh flower arrangement or a bowl of fruit that's colorful out on a table. Yep. I've had people who have like a chalkboard and they'll write on it, "Welcome home."
That's awesome. Those are great little features. And, I just feel that, if you were busy during the day and sometimes, you get a call and you didn't get a chance to get home, I always tell my sellers, just before you leave in the morning, just make sure your dishes are put away.
Yeah.
If they're clean, that's fine. But if they're all over the place from the night before, throw them in your dishwasher and take care of them later.
And this is another one of my little pet peeves is in your kitchen sink and the drain. Make sure you're cleaning that out. Nobody wants to see food in there, especially food from the night before, or God knows when. Make sure you're cleaning that up. I think there's a lot of things that, your trash. If you threw onions away in your trash, maybe it needs to go into, emptying it out. But I agree with you. Leave that day, even if you don't have a showing scheduled, leave it like it's going to happen. And so that everything is
always
ready.
prepared.
Make your bed. You do all of that, and it's just ready to go. You're going to love living in such a clean, organized place during that period of time.
Right. Yeah. I think we covered it, though.
I think so too.
I think some of the things that it could help also is just making sure you contact us prior so that we can get you set up. We can get everything ready. The photos will be ready. We're not going to be juggling around things. Everything will be set up. And then when we go for the first showing, you're going to be ready. Right. You're going to have a schedule down and you're going to have it all set. So you're going to feel real comfortable and your house is going to shine.
Right.
So I think we got them there.
Right. And now keep in mind too, when you're having a private showing, we may be accompanying it if our schedule allows, or it might be a situation where another realtor or buyer's agent is there bringing their buyers through, which may be the case. And that's a little easier to manage because you might be one-on-one with someone. Although I do feel like whenever I bring a couple in, it's not uncommon for the wife to hit one room and the husband hit the other. And,
they're not together.
Right. And that sometimes happens too. But open houses, if we are hosting an open house for you and, we get a large group of people that are coming through, we cannot have our eyes on them constantly. So please be very, very cautious of anything that you leave out. If it's valuable, I have yet in almost 14 years to have anybody steal anything from one of my listings, and I hope it never happens. But and it could be an accident too.
Yeah, it's not the intention for us to make you be leery about it. The intention is just to be obvious. Right. Put away everything that shouldn't be out. And, I always also think papers, mails, stuff. You don't need to have all that stuff.
We don't need to see your overdue credit card notice on the table.
No.
Now, here's a tough one. If you have an investment property and you're trying to sell something that is tenant occupied, the tenants aren't generally trying to help you sell the property. They don't have the same level of care into it. So it might mean that you need to have conversations with your tenants ahead of time, maybe offering some kind of incentive. I don't know what. I'm just making that up as I go. But I do feel like it can make a big difference. And there are people who are very proud. So that even as a tenant who's not selling their own home, if someone was coming into my home, I still wouldn't want it to be messy. But I have walked into, places and found Cheerios all over the carpet and stuck there and underwear and whatever else because they're just not paying attention. Or maybe the communication is lacking and they might be, horrified to think that somebody came into their home and saw it that way. So just, another side of things.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a matter of us being introduced to them so that we can give them some tips.
Yep.
Because, sometimes it might be uncomfortable or you've said it over and over, but they're not quite getting it. Again, we have a checklist and we're happy to help. And I think it eases any tension. So.
I agree. I like talking to the tenants.
Yeah.
And I want them to understand too that, it's still their home.
Yeah.
So even though I'm saying, hey, I want to come in on this day, if it doesn't work with your schedule, let me know and we'll try to work around it. Nobody's trying to push anybody out.
No.
Well, until we close. Just kidding.
Just kidding. No.
But yeah, I think we've covered, I'm just looking over our notes, and I think we've covered quite a bit. Appliances. Sorry, I just thought of one more. Appliances. I would say pay attention to, your refrigerator and your stove.
They're definitely going to open the refrigerator without a doubt. The stove is going to be the people that still cook, because I know a lot of people don't.
Right. Well, and they open up the oven. Sometimes that's when somebody's moving and they forgot to clean it before they left, and then you hear about it in a walkthrough. But you need to pay attention to that. People are looking. They're not looking at your stuff per se. They're trying to picture, will this oven fit my turkey for the, holidays with my family? Is the refrigerator spacious? If I going to be okay with that in my home? So instead of looking at it as an invasion of your privacy, just be prepared to show it so that people can see what their lifestyle would look like there.
Yeah. Again, remember, you can always contact us because we have the resource of a stager, someone to help clean up with you, someone to come do the yard work to get ready. So we have our team all set up. We have the resource to give you contacts, and that will be a lot more helpful than trying to take on each task on your own.
Right.
And I'm sure there's probably not a lot of tasks. I'm not suggesting there is on every single one, but it is going to be helpful to have.
Sometimes there is.
And I know you want to shine. So we want to do that for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'd love to hear from you. If there's something that we've missed here, please reach out, let us know, and we'd be happy to give you our suggestions and recommendations. We could even help you out with some of our resources. So please don't be shy. Make sure that you subscribe and share so that we can get in front of as many people as possible. We want to help you.
Great.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you.